Trollord Games. Join the fray.
Am I there? Okay. All right. I think we have. I think we have liftoff. Is that what they say at wherever they lift off spaceships? I don't know where. NASA. I don't know. What's he say? The Trailer Park Boys. NASA owns Cape Canaveral. There you go. NASA owns space. You can't have space. I assume then that you can hear and see me. Got to run really quick. Hopefully I'll be back before the show ends. Good to see you again, Clever. How's it going, Kadora? Thank you for the subscription. Very much appreciated. How's it going, Jason? Yeah, it is that time. How's it going, Matt? Good deal. I'm glad they arrived. Wait, I assume you're talking about Trollord books. You might be talking about history books. How's it going, Commander? Troll, Great Bait. Yes, we are here for Ask Me Anything. Yeah. I finally joined LinkedIn. I used to have a LinkedIn account long ago. And it was just sending me these constant emails about crap that I didn't care about. So I turned it off. Good deal. I turned it off and deleted my account and moved on. But I've come to realize recently that I need it for particular connections and things we're trying to do with the Troll Lord. That the phone and the whatchamajigger, the email just isn't working well enough for. So LinkedIn, I have joined that mess. Though it seems actually pretty organized, so I guess I shouldn't call it a mess. How many of us nerds did you connect with this week on LinkedIn? I don't know, there's quite a few. Probably about 20, 25 gamers, folks, Troll Lord folks, and yeah. Yeah, I know. Well, I noticed that with Chenault and Gray and Trollord Games and Innsmeet, there were no company pages for it, none of that stuff. So I got all of that in there fixed yesterday and updated. So now we can proceed. It's really one of the things that we are focusing on here is to get a lot of these avenues from Twitch to Facebook to Discord into some kind of very orderly fashion of the way they're going to work. And the way we're going to do announcements and put information out, because there's so much going on at Troll Lord, it is almost impossible to keep up with it.
It looked good.
Chuck, do what? Oh, the page is good. Good. Another, yeah, exactly, Jason. Well, that's kind of one of the things, I'm trying to migrate my carcass over to Discord and spend more time on Discord. It seems to be a better platform just to put stuff up, funny stuff, videos, game stuff, my rambling thoughts and whatnot. And I seem to reach more people who are actually playing Castles and Crusades and more people who are interested in what Troll Lord's doing and all that goobly goop, as opposed to like getting onto Twitter or getting onto Facebook or whatever. And frankly, I don't really like how much information sharing those two companies do. They do a lot of information sharing, and I'm not real keen on that. I know that's their business model. That's great. That's fantastic. Welcome to it. It's capitalism. Love it. But I'm just not that keen on it. So I'm
Really?
migrating my carcass over. Yeah,
It's a shocker.
That news check. Yeah. Yeah. It's just what I'm just old enough to not to not want all of that out there. Now, Jason, you'll be mortified to hear, and we've just begun this road, so I'm not sure where we're going to end up with it. We've set up, Davis and I have set up or are setting up a TikTok account, so that's going to be entertaining.
That's nightmarish.
That's
Absolutely not. Why do you think I wanted to give you the other Gmail account? I want nothing to do with that. It's horrific.
You know, I've never logged into a Gmail email in my entire life, so I have no idea how to use that mess.
I can't imagine what y'all are going to come up with. It's terrifying.
That's it, Omo. We're gonna do some dances. Well, you know, I was talking to my daughter about it, and she's on a lot of history TikToks, and they just talk about history and little really quick little clips on history. So I went and watched some of these history TikToks. I really like Omo. I thought it was just people dancing, but clearly it's not. Clearly it's people doing all kinds of stuff. Some of it informative, some of it not. And then I thought, it'd be cool is to do some CNC how-to videos on TikTok, each one less than 45 seconds. So you just explain the dice in one. You explain, choosing your class in one. You explain choosing your race in one. And that's it. And we just do these quick little down and dirty TikToks just to see how it goes. I'm not very familiar with the platform, but there are a lot of people dancing on it. So there is that. History TikTok, aka to put you to sleep. There you go. Yeah, Tim loves TikTok. But that's just one part of many things. We're really trying to move the Twitch channel forward. We're going to get some more stuff up here very, very, very soon. Build this channel. We're working on the Discord stuff. We're trying to migrate all the trolls over to Discord. We're just, somewhere where we can kind of contain the information and where everybody can go quickly, get it, move on, and what have you. The website, which is the place to do that, obviously, I think it's almost caveman-esque to go to someone's website. So it's very strange. I think websites are a thing of the past. Though it does occur to me, TikTok would be perfect venue for this grease up Davis and make him wrestle a bear stone. Yeah, that would be the perfect place for that. Davis, I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag, but Davis has an absolutely fantastic idea for TikTok. And when he said that is when I was immediately like, dude, we gotta do it. For those of you who don't know, Davis is my brother, Davis Chenault. He co-founded the company with me years ago, me and Matt Golden, and he co-created Castles and Crusades, The World of Isaiah, blah, 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 all kinds of stuff. And he's actually the main contributor to our Patreon stuff we got rolling out right now. Yeah, all very good. All very good. So yeah, we're doing some raffles today. I think we're raffling off 3 seats at my game for next week. It's part of Lord Gazumba's Greyhawk Marathon. It's all right there in that information. That's exhausting to repeat. That's a lot of information. It's a charity, St. Jude's Children's. That's cool. All great stuff. So join in later, and we'll get some open up some chairs for you guys, and we'll do some gaming. I think, when am I gaming next week, Chuck? 4 Eastern. So.
Yeah.
17 Pacific or something. I can't.
Yeah, you'll be doing your game is the opening game for the whole fundraiser. So the party will be traveling to the Underdark, however you want to do it. Not necessarily in the Underdark, but on the way to die at the Underdark.
Anyway, so they're going to be going through the woods, the Darkenfold, to the Underdark.
Yeah, Derek knows this, with the trees and the lake and the river and the giant. But you switched that up last time, if you remember, on me. You fooled me.
Oh, yeah. So. Yeah, so Tim, we were doing a menu for Twitch yesterday, and I told Peter, I said, do it Central Standard Time. It's Peter Bradley, and he did it. He put GMT in there. I don't know why he put GMT, and I vaguely knew what GMT was, but I hollered at Tim, and I said, what is this? Is this GMT? Is everybody going to know what this means? Because I honestly can't keep up with all of the internet jargon anymore. There's just too much of it. And I don't want to keep up with it. I probably could, but I just don't want to. So I'm just not going to do it. So then he started explaining to me CST and what was it, Tim? CDU or something? See, we really need to just go to a 24-hour clock, and it's just the time it is. It just doesn't matter. UTC. Yeah, was that it? There was a country music. Yeah, there you go to CMT. See that, Omut? I know. CDT. That was it. Central Daylight. Whatever. I don't know. Something. It's something or the other. It's all just terribly confusing. We'll move to Arizona where they don't have isn't it Arizona where they don't have the daylight savings time? I think Arizona's half of Tennessee or something. GMT, yeah, they make great war games. There you go, Big Danger. That's what I'm talking about. That was a long time ago. Are they still in business? No problem, Lord Gazumba. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll get them into that forest. We'll chew them up a little bit and then send them into your Underdark and have at it. So that'll be cool. That'll be very, very cool. So we are here for Ask Me Anything. So if you have any, I'm Stephan Chenault, CEO, president of Troll Lord Games. I found out actually I can't technically be a CEO. I think that you have to have elected officers in your company. So I think I have to be the president. I think that's how that goes. So I'm the president of Troll Lord Games, and just any questions you might have about TLG, our Kickstarters, or some of them terribly late Kickstarters, and the industry, whatever. The weather in Arkansas, I'll do my best to answer any questions that you have. Otherwise, I'll just ramble on for quite a while. We vote for you to be CEO. See, I think it would have to have like more officers. I think that's how that works, Tim. I think we'd have to have like a, what is it? Who's the CFO? I think you got to have a board, I think. I think you have to have a board. I can't do that real quick, Jason, because my Skype, is there? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Jason, absolutely. So Jason is joining the crew of guests at GaryCon this year, which will be next month. We're almost on top of GaryCon. And he'll put the information up there, but he's going to be running some games there. He's doing a bit of work with Luke Gygax. It's fantastic. So good stuff. Just call yourself Almighty Lord and the Troll Lord. I think that's as far as I can go. Old school RPG here. I think the Troll Lord is as far as anyone's going to let me go. I'll take late Kickstarters over never fulfilled. At least I'll do what you promise, even if it's sometimes. Yeah, there's a couple. The one that's hanging over me the most right now is the Monsters and Treasures of Air for fifth edition. And this one is late, and it should have already been done. It was edited, and it was converted and ready to go. But I wanted it to get a second edit, and the second edit has proved difficult simply because the young lady I hired to do it came down with COVID. And it knocked her on her ass, and she tried to come back and work on it, but she couldn't. So we've brought in a second editor, and they've dove into it now, making good progress. So it's going to be delayed yet again another month or so. Declare yourself supreme dictator for life. There you go. If I were only the dictator. There would be some changes. There would be a couple of changes. Nothing is set in stone yet, but I'm working on it with Luke. I may be Jason Bay may be a special guest at the con, and Elflayer Games will have a virtual booth room, and we'll be running a few sessions of Night Shift, Veterans of Supernatural Wars. That's right, I'm breaking my virtual GMing. Yeah, it's not as bad as it sounds, Jason. I'm slowly getting used to it. Curse you, COVID. Yes, no kidding. She seems to be doing good. She's recovered, but she only got through the letter C. So and already had someone doing a second edit on Treasure, so that's done. But now we're back into the letter D. Which the good news is, and I need to put this update out. I'm horribly late on the updates on the MTLA. And the good news is I'm taking this time to get more art into the book. I'm redoing a bunch of pictures. I'm not redoing anything. I've hired Zoe to redo some pictures, and they look just amazingly fantastic.
Trolls.
Yeah, exactly. But so at the end of the day, there'll be more art in the book. So there's that. The Grand Poobah. I need a hat for that, Kador. I think I need a hat for the Grand Poobah. Some kind of what's that? Who had the tassel? Or was that from a Happy Days? Was it Happy Days? Didn't Mr. Cunningham? He had some kind of tassel on his hat or something. I can't remember. It's been way too long. It's a fez. There you go. So the hat that's kind of like the little cone thing. The Leopard Lodge. There you go. Mr. Obadiah knows. It's been a long time since I've watched the Happy Days, but it's left quite a. And I found out not long ago that jumping the shark comes from Happy Days. You guys probably know that, but the episode where they had Fonzie jump the shark was just, they clearly didn't have any more stories, and they were just doing silly stuff. Fezzes are cool. We need a Troll Lord Fez. That's what we need. Fezzes are evil. We got kind of a difference of opinion there between Jason and Mr. Obadiah. All right, somebody's Skyping me again. I got to check it on my phone. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay. Yeah. All right, good enough. Yeah, cool and evil. There you go. Kadora, every time I see your name, I want to go watch the second Godzilla movie, but I have not. I have not carved the time out to do it. Some people told me it's pretty good. Some people told me it's pretty boring. But it's Godzilla because I kind of feel like I'm morally required to watch the movie, especially I guess to get caught up with the coming apocalypse between Godzilla and King Kong, which I noticed became quite a thing on iFunny between who's going to win, Godzilla and King Kong. But I've seen the first one, Jason, not the second one. Everyone, Todd and Mac and everybody were telling me that the second one was just not a monster movie. It was this big, long story of whatever. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. I'm a huge Godzilla fan. I mean, that's, like I've said here on the stream before, Godzilla was the first movie. Godzilla versus the Smog Monster, first movie I ever saw in the theater. First movie I ever saw and the first movie I ever walked out of. I was about 10 or 8 or something, and I called my dad and said, I'm too scared to watch this movie. I can't watch this. And he told me on the phone, I called him on a payphone, he told me if he comes and gets me, I don't ever get to go to a movie again. So I went back in the theater and finished Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. It wasn't as terrifying as as the opening sequence made it to be. I did see Skull Island. That was a lot of fun. That had Samuel Jackson, right? Samuel Jackson was in that helicopter scene. King Kong throwing crap around. So I both like Godzilla. I'm a huge Godzilla fan, and I'm a gigantic King Kong fan. Talked about this before. I like King Kong for the same reason I like Tarzan. All of my history studies were in the 19th century, and when you flip over from the 19th to the 20th century, especially after World War I, you start getting into these technological innovations that are really beginning to impact first the Western world, but later the rest of the world. And you have, by the 1920s and 1930s, very little that's unexplored. So this literature that starts at the turn of the century is really the last. It's kind of an expression of the primeval world against the civilized world. And I love this concept, the struggle between the two. I think that man at our heart is primeval. And I think we're still I look at man as a biological organism. We're still animals. So the whole civilization, the cultural thing that governs who and what we are is pretty cool. And I love the idea behind it clashing with where we came from. And that's what King Kong represents to me. King Kong is the primeval world, its last gasp against the civilizing world of mankind. So I love this kind of struggle between the two. Godzilla's a wholly different animal, right? Godzilla's from like a nuclear waste, I think, or atomic. I can't remember where Godzilla really comes from, but he's kind of from that whole different Doomaflachi there. So the two of them clashing doesn't, in my head space, doesn't really work. I'm going to go see the movie, clearly. Obviously, I'm going to go see the movie. Watching King Kong punch Godzilla in the face was just awesome. Nuclear testing in the Pacific, there you go. So the two clashing with each other is like two genres going together that don't belong together. I'm going to watch it anyways, of course. But clearly I need to watch the second Godzilla movie to bring myself up to speed. The civilized man is more discourteous than the barbarian because he can be without having his head split as a gentleman. There you go. Yeah, it's when you read about, especially in the 19th century, when Western countries, mostly France and England, Belgium a little bit, Germany, and a tiny little bit America, were plunging into these. Well, actually, America in the West was doing it. We're plunging into these environments that were still controlled by. I hate the word civilized. I don't really like that word because that's a very subjective term, depending on from which direction you're looking at things. But non-industrial is what I would prefer. So non-industrial societies, and you have this clash, this echo of the primeval when you're reading about Stanley wandering through the jungle and these strange English and French expeditions that just exploring Africa, particularly for the West. Obviously, Africa was not needing to be explored by the locals, they they knew where it was, but from a Western perspective. So the whole concept is really cool. I love that concept, and it echoes in the King Kong movie, obviously, especially when he's on the Empire State Building, holding his love in his hand, or protecting her, standing above her, fighting these airplanes. That's your moment. That's your moment right there. I'd love to enter, but I wouldn't to be able to join. So there you go. Oh, I guess we're raffling the first seat at the chair. So it'll be sometime next Friday. Not this Friday, but next. All very, very good. Lots of fun. You need the moose hat from the Flintstones Return Lord. I love the Flintstones, man. Talk about the industrial world clashing with the primeval. When Fred gets in his car, man, and he's driving with his feet, that is just pure awesome. It doesn't get any better than that. Whoever thought that up was a genius. Whatever cartoonist or writer came up with that concept should be given some kind of prize for something. Oh, very good. All right, so have we landed a first winner on the first chair? Chuck, are we there yet? No, we're still entering. I guess we are still entering. Very cool.
Yeah, it's still going. You just talk on. Don't worry about it.
All right, good deal. Hannah and Barbara. Are those people, Jason? I always thought that was the name of the company. Are those two people? I have no idea.
I think their last names.
That's their last name, Hannah and Barbara.
Maybe.
That's funny. I just watched this crap as a kid. I didn't pay any attention to it. It is, but yes, it's people. I have to look that up. That's very cool. But anyways, whoever came up with that concept, that was very cool. Very, very, very cool. I like anything that's kind of unique that way.
We've got about less than a minute left on this raffle.
Okay, about a minute left on this first raffle, folks. People, there you go. But at any rate, so let's do a quick recap. This is always good for me too. We're going to do a real quick recap on the Kickstarters we got out there and what we got planned, what we got coming forward. So we talked about Miles of Treasures 5th edition. I'm confident now we've got that one problem under control and get that thing moving again. Then we've got the Starship Warden. I need to do a last look over that book, and she's print ready. I contacted the printers today and discussed with them. My biggest concern about the Starship Warden Kickstarter is the size of the book. It's 680 or 676 pages, somewhere around in there. And for me, that really gets beyond the point where the binding can take a lot of abuse. We print books here, and we expect them, as you expect them, to stand up to a beating at the table. I don't know where my Codex of Error is. I just had it the other day. But I've been using my editorial copy of the Codex of Error for 5 years now, and it has taken a beating, and it is still, the binding is still intact. The headboards are still intact. Everything's really, it's just a put together book. With the Starship Warden, it's 600, we're talking almost 700 pages. I'm concerned about the binding, standing up to the test of time. Once I've got confirmation from them that there's something that we can do or suggestions that we can do, and this is from the folks up at Wellsworth in Missouri, then I'll pull the trigger on that and get that sucker rolling again. Let's see. Hey, can you get the Player's Handbook with the Spellbook with the backer kit launches? Can you get the Player's Handbook with? Yes, absolutely, Matt. We'll have all of those. In fact, I plan to release the rough draft of the Spellbook this week to backers. We got it all laid out. It does not have the rune spells in it, but it's got all the spells in it. What I really, really would like you guys to do is dive into that thing and see if we missed anything. It's going to need a lot of cleaning and a lot of adjusting in columns and all of this goobly-goop, but I don't want to miss any spells that should be in the book. So we're going to ask everybody to kind of flip through it, set it up at their table, do some gaming, and see if you can't find some stuff that we forgot, because I can almost guarantee you we forgot some stuff. How's it going, Tabletop Santa? We're just rambling today. So if you have any questions, shoot them out there. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. A good hardcover should improvise the shield quality. Yes, absolutely. Xander, yes, we print everything. We don't offshore any of our printing. We have our own print shop where we do all soft covers here. You know, anything soft cover we do here in the shop, here at Troller Games in Arkansas, and then we print everything else up in Missouri, up with our neighbors up there. So absolutely fantastic people. We've been working with those printers since the Gary Gygax's World Builder second printing. So that's going to be like 2005 or 4 or something like that. A long time ago. Very, very good company. What has Troller Games got going on for Gary Con? And when will you see your TikTok? So the TikTok, we're getting that set up now. I'm hoping that by the morning it's active. And then we're going to have to, Davis already does a little bit on TikTok through his own stuff, but I'll have to learn that. I'll have to learn how it actually goes. And I'm going to try to get a couple of videos up a week. So hopefully, if we're lucky, by Friday, we'll have something up. But it probably won't be by Friday.
Our first winner is Pete. Commander Pete.
Commander Pete, you have won a chair at the table. Huzzah! Fantastic. I hope you enjoy it. It'll be next Friday at like 3 or something like that.
Enjoy your quick death, Pete.
Yeah. I still want to upgrade the CKG pledge to leather, seeing as that's what I went for with the PHB. Yeah, once we get that up on backer kit, everybody can adjust their pledges. And as for Gary Con, I'm doing a panel on working with Gygax. Is that right? And I've got
you have got a lot going on.
Yeah, what am I doing over this?
I think I'm just gonna make a gigantic picture and post it on the internet, because you're doing the DM's roundtable with Lorga Samba. We're doing GM tricks of the trade. And then Friday, that was Thursday. Then Friday, we're doing working with Gary Gygax. We're doing what is the other panel? Publishing, maybe? I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, probably publishing then, now, and in the future.
Yeah, and maybe that's it. It's another one. Then we got your big game that night.
Good God.
And then you're doing some kind of a panel on Saturday that I cannot remember that Luke wanted you to do with somebody else. And then Sunday, you're doing a panel with Alyssa, Ernie, Luke. Yeah.
Good Lord.
A bunch.
That's a lot. So, yeah, there you go. Apparently I'm doing a lot. So well, that's good. That's good. Luke is up there. Let's see. There you go. Springfield. A friend of mine lives in Springfield forever and a day. Looking forward to the spell. Yes, I am too. We need that. With that table, we need it bad.
I'm gonna go look and see what that is. By the way, I should probably remember that better. I'm gonna go look.
What's that?
The thing on Saturday with that Luke wanted you to do.
Oh, Elflair Game uses the same print of steel. Gee, Steve set me up with them. Not only are they fantastic quality, they're just great people. Yeah, they really are. They are. Let me tell you, the past month they have gone out of their way to do me a couple of favors. It just was just fantastic. I have absolutely nothing to say about those.
It's a hobby shop dungeon Memorial Tomb team.
Am I running it?
Yeah, I mean that Saturday, the one I couldn't remember the other panel. He wants to get you and Ben and Ernie on there to talk about Memorial Tomb and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, that's what it was. I knew it was something I could not.
Yeah.
All right.
Man, that thing always lingers on the edge of my.
I was just like trying to remember myself. So.
Davis posts a lot of chicken farming videos.
That's why I have.
Davis says crazy damn chickens.
I have 15 notebooks around me. Yeah, so.
That's where it goes. That is Chuck, Mr. Obdiah, that you hear. They're asking who the mystery voice is.
Hello, Mr. Obdiah. Good to see you.
Yes. That is Join the Fray. Wait, who's talking about Elisa Teague? We love Elisa Teague. She wrote a section for Gaxamore.
Yep.
Absolutely. Why did she come up in the conversation? Is she with us today? We need to get Elisa on here. I bet she would
be great. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Elisa. She's just fantastic. She actually popped into a GM's Tricks of the Trade early on and had some fantastic commentary, left with this kind of mind-bending question that none of us could answer, and then she left. So, I don't know what the answer to the question was. I need to holler at her, too. I need to get her copies of Gaxamore. Elisa's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoy it, Prometheus. That book turned out very, very well, I think. I'm super happy with it, and we put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that sucker. Yeah, she is. Yes, you have a Matt, yes, we have, actually. That's been a huge part of the conversation for a while. We've explored certain avenues even did a little legal stuff, and we're moving on. And yes, we're exploring that now relatively aggressively. We're looking at expansions in a number of directions, both from in a manufacturing side, expanding the print shop, and in a more I don't know, different mediums as well, quite a number of them. So it's a constant conversation, and it's one of the reasons that you've seen, if you've kind of followed what TLG's been doing in the past 6 weeks after the 17-month long holiday season. The holidays wear me out. They just go on and on and on. They start before Thanksgiving and they don't end until after the New Year. It drives me bonkers. But anyway, so we've been kind of really aggressively trying to get the ship in order, and by that I mean internally, so that we've got an SOP on the way we're getting information out there. One of the things we noticed in just kind of reviewing everything at the first part of the year, certain aspects of the company's platforms were just completely ignored. I mean, Tim was working really hard on Patreon, but we weren't getting any kind of traction on it. There was no movement on World Anvil. Twitch had everything was just kind of getting ignored as we focused on all of these other things. So part of what we've been doing internally is restructuring the way the company operates with all of these multiple platforms, and on how we're going to get the information pushed into them. I know we aren't under any illusions that people enjoy their specific types of social media, whether it's Facebook or Twitch or Discord or Twitter or whatever it is. I mean, there's a lot of them. MeWe, I don't know. There's all time. Jason told me about another one the other day. So it's trying to get the information that's here. So much is going on, just like on Patreon, just releasing these small pieces of these small gaming things that Davis has been wanting to do forever. And they're just kind of stacking up. So we're going to try to do 2 a week on Patreon. And that information wasn't getting out there. So we're looking we've been retooling all of that. And once that stuff is retooled and we can, it kind of goes into an automatic, this is how we're getting the information out. We won't have to have these discussions about how to get this information out, and we won't have to explore this stuff anymore. We can just put the information out and keep working on. It's one of those things that it's cool as the platforms, all of these social media platforms are. It takes a lot of time to wrangle them and make certain that the appropriate information is going this way, that way, and the other direction. Of all the other staff members from your time at TSR, who do you miss seeing the most and having brainstorming sessions with? I never worked at TSR. That's a little bit before my time. If you're directing that question towards me, Tabletop Santa, I have worked with a lot of folks from TSR. Gary Gygax, obviously, Ernie Gygax, Darlene, Jim Ward, Frank Metzner, Tim Kask. I've worked with a lot of these folks, but I was never part of the TSR team. I think Jim Butler was of Bastion Press. I believe he was part of the TSR team. Jim's a great guy.
Second raffle has started.
The second raffle's rolling, so get your name in there. However that works, I think you got to put exclamation mark or raffle.
Trollord Games, join the fray.
You need the echo chamber or whatever you got going. I love that video that you did with a stone flying through the air. Hold on, I gotta answer this text right quick. Won't take.
Elf needs food badly.
Do what?
That video game Gauntlet, remember that? Elf needs food. That was fun. That was a good game.
That was. So where were we? Starship Warden, and then we're on to. I feel like this is what I'm always forgetting. There's Memorial Tomb. We've got
NPC
the
Almanac.
Oh yeah. So let me knock out Marmar, and then we'll get to the Almanac. That's the one I always forget. That guy.
Me too.
So on Memorial Tomb, we've got the box done, ready. It's gone to the printers. I've got the approval sitting here. I need to look at the quote and sign off on all of that stuff and get that thing printed, or get that started printing. That'll be done in Pennsylvania, so probably gonna take about 3 weeks to have that done. Now, my understanding is we've got a lot of the fans out there found some stuff in the book itself. I want to get those edits in next week. We'll get the cover to the printers next week, and we're going to start printing that book hopefully by next Friday. Now, that said, we got a very, very large restocking order come in 2 weeks ago, and Todd and I have been scrambling to get all of that printed and bound and boxed and cut and shipped and all of that stuff. And I was met yesterday with the news that one of the boxes that we shipped was damaged, and they dropped it so hard that it crushed the corner, and 150 books were destroyed. So I got to redo all of those things. So it's, that will take precedence over getting Marmara printed. But in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I hope to have the main book of Memorial Tomb and those maps done and put into the boxes, or ready to be put in the boxes. And the plan is, everyone out there, I'll tell them to, great, just drop it in the mail. The plan is, that's up on Backer Kit, and if you want to split ship, you can. It'll cost you like $3 or $4 extra, but we'll ship the box and the main book and maps to you, and then when the other stuff comes out, we'll ship that to you. I really want to get this thing really to a positive point that everyone over there, who backed that, and it's 1,600 people, I think, feel vindicated, and Trollord hadn't let them down. We certainly don't want to do that. Man, my phone will not stop ringing. I have no idea what's going on.
I've heard enough about phone calls today.
Yeah, the thing's fixing to get thrown out the window. Is what's fixing to happen. I can't hear it. It's in the trees. Phone's driving me crazy. But yeah. So NPC Almanac. So Dave has turned over the Eldritch Knight to me yesterday, and he's going over each one of these things. Thanks, Dave. He's going over each one of these sections and dropping them on. I'm trying to get a hard date from him to get these things wrapped up. I'd really like this to be done sooner rather than later. It's way too late, and even beyond that, it is a fantastic resource that needs to be in the player's hands. So give us a couple more weeks on that, and I'll have a very good idea of when we're going to wrap that thing down. CKG, it is in its second round of editing, and I've got at least 4 chapters in layout. Peter and I are working on that now. Still haven't kind of finalized how I want it to look, but it's going to be the same as the player's handbook. I'm really hoping by the end of February that I've got both of those 2 books. Peter and I laid out the SOP on the PHB, the way we want the file transferring to go today. And I know he's working on some art for it at the end, and I know I'm going to want some more art at the beginning. But we should have that. I'm really hoping that's deep into layout, if not ready to print by the end of February. It's going to be a hard run, but that's really going to be mostly what next week is about. I honestly think, as of yesterday, close of business Monday, yesterday on the 8th, I got all of our government paperwork and tax stuff and filing and all of this crap taken care of, so it won't be rolling across my desk every 35 minutes.
1 minute left on the raffle.
Okay, 1 minute left on the raffle. Yes, Omo. So we're going to drop the background entirely. There will not be a background in the player's handbook nor the CKG. It'll be a white page with black text on it. We've toyed with margin art, but I'm not a big fan of margin art. I don't like it. Yeah, apparently Chuck's over there doing the down thumb. I think we're going to go just a really clean text with some really great art in there. And there'll be a little bit of rearranging that we're going to do in there. Not a lot, but a little bit in that. And I think, Omut, you were actually the inspiration for this. I went and looked at the game that you told me about, and some of the layout I liked, some of the layout I didn't. What I really did like was a very, very rapid access to pertinent information. Hold on just a second. I got a dog that's just will not stop whining. I don't know what's going on. What are you doing? Oh, come on. I don't know what's going on. But she's taken to sleep. It's okay. Just lay down, babe. It's okay. Just go lay down. At any rate, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a chart for each of the classes. Is that right? Yeah, for each of the classes. I don't know what's going on around here. For each of the classes, and in that chart, we're going to have all of the information ready to access. Do what?
As I say, the raffle stop. I'm going to pick a winner, but real quick, just want to ask everybody, if you can, give us a follow if you have it. We really would appreciate it. And Canadian Ancient Gamer, absolutely, we'll do a TrollCon north up there near the Canadian border or something. We can all meet up there. I'm all for it. Those Tim, because he loves snow, and like me and Steve.
Yeah, I'd rather go to Key West myself. A little bit of sand. A new Lord of the Rings RPG Kickstarter launches Wednesday. Oh, that's cool. Very, very cool. So we got one more raffle, or are we done all three?
No, we got one more. I'm getting picking the winner for this one right now.
Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. Yeah, so I think that's all of the Kickstarters. Now, I'm hoping that as of between March 1st and the 5th, that we're going to launch our large Robert E. Howard Robert E. Howard art history book. You'll see it at Kickstarter, and we're hoping to do that, like I said, first weekend of March, and it's going to be essentially what the Edgar Rice Burroughs 100-year art history chronology was. It's going to be a collection of all the art used in Conan comic books, or Robert E. Howard comic books, Robert E. Howard pulps, Robert E. Howard books, all done in this very large, nice, full-color set of books. And that'll be rolling out on Kickstarter very, very, very soon. So, yeah, Matt, hopefully we can get that together. I really should have already had it together, and in the next few weeks, you should see, hopefully by next week, you'll see the link where you can sign up via Kickstarter and jump in there, so that you get early warning. And there'll be early backer stuff and all kinds of stuff. So that's our next big Kickstarter project rolling out. And one of the reasons we're kind of we're starting the year with that, mainly because we want to wrap up a whole bunch of this other stuff. How's it going, Turin Bar? So hopefully Canadian by next week is what I'm hoping. I'm not going to swear to that, but we really need to get that. Like I said, it should have been up, but first of the year is crazy.
The Wild Mac in the audience.
Do what?
Mac's in the audience.
Oh, Mac Muddles has joined.
Mac Muddles.
How's it going? So Mac Muddles, everybody, that is Mac Golden. He is he co-founded Troller Games with me and Davis back in 1999, and he is the co-designer of Castles and Crusades, and he is the one I send everything that I write goes to Mac for commentary, notes, and what have you. What's up, Chuck?
I was gonna say, you know what we ought to do? We ought to do a show where we get you and Davis and him on here, and you just guys explain to everybody how it all happened. That would be kind of cool.
That'd be great.
That'd be fun.
That'd be absolutely great. I love it. I know Davis and Mac can do it too.
Yeah.
Castles and Crusades, great fantasy RPG or greatest fantasy RPG of all time. It is the greatest fantasy RPG of all time.
The Rosetta of games.
This is the Rosetta Stone
Yeah, I left
of
that part
games.
out.
It really, for those of you who don't play Castles and Crusades, I'm going to take 30 seconds out and pitch it. The game is agonizingly simple. It's deceptively simple. It seems complicated, but it's deceptively simple. And you'll find once you've played it for a little while that the siege engine checks allow you to do almost anything at the table without skills and feats and all that stuff. And after you've played it for a little bit, your player's imagination will suddenly just open up, and they'll start doing all kinds of stuff. And you'll really start seeing the games change in tenor. I mean, because you get if there's not these parameters governing what they can do, then it really is just like you in the real world. You can go out into the woods right now and go camping with nothing. You're going to be making a lot of siege checks, and you might go hungry and get kind of thirsty, but you can do it. There's nothing stopping you. Well, probably some fences or some federal laws or something, but trespassing laws, what have you. So be careful on that. Don't say the troller said I could camp here. Yeah, so the Castles and Crusades, it has withstood, what are we in, 15 years of straight publication. We're on our 8th printing. It's just, the game it's a very good game. It's just very, very good. And we don't put anything in the core part of the game that's going to detract from the way you want a game. So you can do anything. I had a young lady ask the other day, are women penalized for playing females? And I mean, if you play a female character, are you penalized? And then, no, there's nothing like that. You pick your race and your class and you go, and that's it. So there's everything else is on you. I mean, it's very simple, deceptively simple. It's in the 30s here. No way probably not a good idea to go camping. Though I'll tell you, Celestian, I got into watching what I call, I got to be careful calling it this, camper porn. It's not actually porn. It's these people who go out and they camp and they build, wiki-ups or lean-tos or whatever, and they show some really, really cool things. Just the way you can survive. You can see it on YouTube. Just type in, I don't know what the hell you type in, probably not camper porn. That's probably not. You probably get a different type of video. But and the coolest thing I saw. This is so simple, and I never would have crossed my tiny little mind. Guy's clothes were wet. He washed them in the lake, and they're wet. So he runs this rope or twine really between two trees, and then he took little chunks of wood and he split them, and he used those as clotheslines. He just put them on the clothes on the line, and it held the clothes up. And I thought that literally is ingenious. It's like 3 seconds to make one of those things, and his clothes are hanging up without draped over the line or whatever. He just made a clothesline. And I thought, well, that's just really cool. But it's things like that you can do in Castles and Crusades, and you just make a siege check to see if you do it. The guys that dig a hole in the ground and make it into a pool with a slam, those guys are cool, great babe. I've watched a few of those. That's absolutely stunning when they do that, because they really make a nice pool. It's not like something I would do, a hole in the ground with a tarp in it that you fill some water in. Their stuff is really, really cool. I enjoy watching those, and those camping videos, I don't know what it is about them. They're very relaxing. Most of them have no commentary. It's just this guy or this woman out there camping and building their camp and cutting wood and laying by the fire and cooking dinner. It's just very cool. After 27 years in the Army, any camping I do now has to include room service. It's a big danger. That reminds me, man. So when I was in the Army, I did this chaplain's run. I was the chaplain's driver. And I didn't have to do anything except drive him around wherever the infantry were doing their mock battles or what have you. And his whole thing was how he's going to interact with the dead and how he's going to interact with the wounded and, all the other stuff. Everything else that chaplains do. So I really didn't have anything to do except walk next to him. I was just his driver. But I remember one point there was bodies all over the place, obviously not real bodies, but just infantrymen laying around and pretending they were dead. And he went through, did his thing. And I was sitting on the edge of the truck, and there was one of these infantrymen laying in the brush there, and we got to talking. And he he said he'd been in the Army for about 4 years. He was getting out in a few months and going back to Tennessee. And I said, "Oh, you looking forward to do a little bit of hunting and fishing?" And he looked at me and he said, "I am never leaving the air conditioning again." It was so funny. I just fell over laughing. So spending 4 years in the woods is not nearly as fun as it's racked up to be. The danger, we are going to have to talk. I plan to start my home game this summer. Emma Marcellus just off 175 on the. Oh, very cool. What do we got? We got a winner?
No. Last raffle for seat number 3 at the table. We will be doing 3 more seat giveaways this week at the GMTT on Thursday at 4 p.m. Central.
So let's do the last raffle. And Jason, no, it's way too early to talk about Amazing Adventures. We got way too many other things going on to talk about Maze releases. The real focus right now is on the Patreon. I want everyone to know over on Patreon, if you can join Patreon for $0, right? Can't you? Is that part of it?
I think it's $1.
Yeah. So you get in for $1 and you get all the GMTTs and some other crap. And if you get in there for like 5, 10, or 15, it builds up to the point where you can have access to almost the entire library of Troll Lord games on the World Anvil. You just have to go in there and access it. And then on top of that, we're going to be doing releases every time Davis has, and he's got tons of these things, me too, where we've got little bitty things we don't really know what to do with, and little encounters, weapons, magic items, spells, NPCs, monsters. They go to Patreon as well, so the higher level backers get access to just this stuff. We released one adventure, the Boar's Hunt. It's not an adventure, it's really an encounter, last week, and this week we've got the Devil You Say, which is another encounter. I think also a weapon went out. So at any rate, head over, check out the TLG Patreon page. All kinds of stuff wedged in there. So definitely check that out. What are you doing? Is there more Margrel on World Anvil? Is there more Margrel? So the Margrel is a huge, powerful devil. Okay. And let me tell you, I love that monster, but I really feel as if I was reading about it. I was reading it a couple weeks back. It needs more power. It just needs to be more powerful for what it actually is. For these are like the Balrogs in Tolkien. These are powerful devils created by Unklar itself. So I think that on the next printing of the Monsters and Treasures of Air, those mongrel are going to get kind of a boost.
Cool.
Yeah, I've discovered, now that we're high level, I'm running, my game is 15th level now. Mac's in it, Chris and Todd. And, well, Chuck, you've been in it a little bit. You've joined us a few times. It is the amount of damage that these high level characters can mete out in a few rounds is extraordinary. So it's a lot. So I need to, and the mongrel should never be easily conquered, if conquered at all. It definitely needs a little bit of overhaul. I got to tell you guys, is there a way we can throw a picture up here easy for everyone to see, Chuck?
A mongrel?
No, so I'm having Zoe redo a lot of
her.
I'm having.
If you'll send me the picture, I can throw it up. No problem.
Okay, I'm going to put this in your Dropbox.
While you're doing that, everybody, I'm going to do a command here in the chat. This is about the Underdark Uprising. For more information, that Steve's going to be running a game for next Friday. It's 9 different streams going on throughout the 2 days that weekend. We're going to be raising money for St. Jude's. Our buddy and friend Lorca Sumba, Jay Scott, he's heading up the whole thing for the Greyhawk community, and we're very excited about it. This is the 3rd annual of it, and it'll be really good. Just check that link out. You can go to his page, give him a follow, and learn all about it.
All right. So I put it in your Dropbox there. That is the 𝚃𝚘𝚕𝚕. It's a demon, a water demon from the Monsters and Treasures of Air, and Zoe DeVos is redoing all of these for me. I'm super stoked about it. It looks absolutely stunning. And Omut, what you're looking for is the Monsters and Treasures of Air, and I have been working on that. There will be more creatures like the 𝚃𝚘𝚕𝚔 if you look in the MT of A, which is an extraordinarily powerful, almost demigod-esque creature. That's mostly what will be in that book. So I'm just really excited to get this year rolling, get some of these other things put behind us, and get on to just newer content. We're way overdue for it. And this is the year to do it, without a doubt.
Holy smoke, that's second.
Did you get it up there?
Yeah, it's big though.
Oh yeah, you got the upper half. Yeah, the shading on this picture is
my God, it is
beyond awesome.
There you go.
I absolutely love this thing. The koala beast. It's the pooala beast there, Canadian Ancient Gamer.
I almost repeated what Tim said. No, Tim, I'm not repeating. I'm as bad as Steve now.
Yeah, none of that. That is what is that? What the hell is that thing called? The 𝚃𝚘𝚕𝚕. It is a powerful water demon from the world of Aird, Monsters and Treasures of Aird, and Zoe is redoing all of the demons in that book. She's just her shading is just
awesome. I mean, I'm sorry.
No,
it's awesome.
It's in the shading too. I think the way she does it, when she sent that over, she sent like 3 versions that she was working on, and I couldn't pick. They were all so good.
I mean, I just had a brilliant idea. Guys, we're getting ready to start in the next week or so. We should have our new merch store open. And you know what we ought to do? We ought to have a monthly random print like this where we just put it on the store for a month. Because you can't have everything on there. We could, but you know what I mean. I would love to have that. That would be awesome up on the wall. And just have that and her sign it or something.
That's a great idea. That's part of the issue we discussed earlier. There's so much information. There's so much coming out of Troller Games that I think a lot of it's getting lost in the ether. If you don't pay attention to everything we're doing on every channel, you're just going to miss something. But that's one of the things we're working on. I like that idea, actually.
Yeah.
It looks pregnant. There you go. Yeah, I just absolutely love that thing.
Man, I tell you what's the hit dice on that thing? I might use that this weekend.
I think that's a 12 or 13.
It's a first level. That won't work.
Oh yeah, no, that works.
I've got a new group. I don't think I told you about this, but I've got a new group that actually approached one of my ex-players about learning how to play CNC. So I'm going to teach them this weekend. It should be fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's 12th level, so probably our 12th hit dice wouldn't work for your first hit dice, guys. She does have what is that little spider dude? What would work is the Paralyte Demon. I'll send you that image over. I'm pretty sure she's finished that too. It's a 4-hit dice. You send one of those up against it, it'll be good.
All right, I'm gonna draw the.
She's afraid it's not my fault.
I'm gonna draw the raffle winner right now while you do your thing there.
Sounds good. All right. Well, if anyone has any other questions, throw them out. I said slay the monster, not lay the monster. Boy, this stream devolved quickly.
Oh my God.
As it always does. That's a good thing. But there you go. Yeah, any questions, throw them out. We're going to do the last ticket here. Who won the other one? I missed completely. Who won the...
Retro Gamer Myth.
Oh, very
and
good.
And this
cool,
one was Matt Barringer. Matt
Barringer. Very cool, man. We will see you on Friday.
Yeah, you three guys, I'll be sending you a message in Discord, getting you hooked up in the private room that we have and all that, so you can get, massage oils and your characters made and all that stuff. So,
Whatever it takes. There you go. At any rate, I think I got all the Kickstarters wrapped in. We just got an exciting year, and I'm anxious to get all of this retooling done of everything and all of these government forms and taxes paid and all this other stuff, so that we can really focus on making more game material for CNC and 5th edition and Amazing Adventures and Victorious and all this other stuff. There's just absolutely tons of it out there, and we got to get on top of it, which is good. Whips head around. Did someone say massage oils? There you go. I have heard negative criticisms of siege checks at high levels, especially as probabilities compared to extant fantasy RPGs. Rebuttal from your actual play. The thing is about the siege checks. So it's designed this way. As you gain higher levels, you're supposed to be able to achieve difficult tasks easier, have a better chance of succeeding it. So many of the things that might be challenging at 8th level, at 15th level, aren't that challenging. And at that point, failure becomes like a 1 or a 2. However, if the CK, and this is the joy of the Siege Engine, if the CK wants crossing that gulch to be extraordinarily challenging, let's say that it's got a rope bridge and the rope bridge is icy and the wind is blowing and it's cold and it's overcast and there's moisture rising from below and there's all the conditions are against it, and the 15th level character would normally be able to make his siege check and get across. Give it a higher CL. That's all you got to do. It's challenge base is always going to be 12 or 18, but the CK decides what the siege engine or the check is going to be. So you can put a CL 40 on it. There's no limit to it.
It gives you an opportunity for a good descriptive,
Yeah, that's the thing. There's no cap on the CLs. I've literally given things a CL of like 80 something because I didn't want anyone to have even a vague chance of winning. Because a lot of CKs will allow a natural 20 to succeed. I don't.
You really can't inherently in our game. You can't.
Yeah, it's just not a good idea. It's just I get why people do it, but a 5% chance to succeed at everything's not a great idea. Yeah, so I've never had a problem with it, and I'm running with them now. The joy of it is at high level is they succeed at most of the things. They work so many things they work so hard to actually succeed at and couldn't do. But that began to change about 8th level, 9th level, and then by 15th, they're succeeding at most things. I think Todd's a ranger. He's 15th level, and with all of his crap piled on top of it, because he's got magic items and they do spells and stuff, he's got like a plus 20 something on his siege check. So he frequently will have 32 or 33, and I'm like, what the? But that's the way it's supposed to be. When you're Aragorn can't not track. He's Aragorn. He's been literally tracking for 80 years. So the chances of him failing are pretty slim. Though occasionally when you're reading the books, he can't. He's not able to do it. He loses the 2 hobbits at some point when he's chasing them through Rohan. So it really all depends on how the CK wants to run the game. So that's how I would respond to that, Vindishi. Monsters of Erd are amazing and brutal, and they're unique. Clobane Orc and the Ungaren, great artwork as well. Thank you, Ultra Magnus. It's one of the I tried to actually stouten those monsters so that they were a little bit more challenging. Having run games for so long, I know if you get 4 or 5 players together who are really competent. And I don't mean in life competent. I mean just are able to play the powers of their characters and use them, to all advantage and whatnot. They can annihilate your monsters really fast. Frequently, you don't have, a well-oiled machine, but if you do, it can really mess it up. So part of the idea behind MTV was to kind of give the CKs a little bit more oomph to their monsters. Uh, I need to consider how much I want them to succeed to progress the story. That's exactly it, Mr. Obadiah. If I don't want them to, if I want this to be challenging or not to happen, then CL just goes up. Look, my wife rolls freakishly high anyway, so it doesn't matter what level she is. She'll find a way to roll a 30 or 40. Yeah. The group I'm running is rolling freakishly low. Wilson rolled 4 times. He got a 1, a 2, a 1, and a 2. It was absolutely insane. I mean, he was actually getting quite angry. You could see the rage building in him. Good thing Samuel isn't here in here hearing all this talk about making siege checks harder. And there's a guy in our group, Tom, who will find a way to brutally fail any check. Yeah. I get the sense that some people get lost in probability analysis, damage output, etc., rather than telling a satisfactory fantasy story, which I think is the goal of Siege. Yes, absolutely. And it's one of the things. It's one of the reasons that Castles and Crusades is written the way it is, and one of the reasons it's laid out the way it is, because we really want the focus to be on the story and the character development as opposed to the mechanics. Now, the mechanics are important, and especially for a lot of people who love the mechanical side of these games. And there's a whole bunch of people who love it, and that's great. So the mechanics have to work very logically, and the Siege does. But at the end of the day, I think it's more beneficial for the mechanics to serve a story as opposed to the stories to be kind of the flesh of a mechanical system.
Absolutely. And I've told you time and time again, that's one of the biggest things. Reason why I came back to it was because I love being able to make people describe what they're doing, not only just for role play, but that's part of the check. I don't have to actually make them do the check. Let them tell me what they're doing. It's so much better.
Absolutely. It's one of the things that's stressed in Castles and Crusades and can't be stressed enough is that you're not supposed to always make attribute checks. You're supposed just if you want them to succeed, they just succeed. And I will do things like, and I will tell the story. I've told the story before because it's I think it's my favorite RPG story. I was running a game up in Carbondale, Illinois, home of Dave Trampier, and I had, I don't know, like 6 or 7 people at the table, and these 2 brothers were playing dwarves. Both of these kids went on to join the army later and served in Afghanistan and Iraq, but these guys, they were trying to get across a river, which is a huge thing in my game, crossing rivers. It's always part of it. And they didn't want to take their armor off, so they cut this tree down. All the other party members got on the tree, and then the Dwarven brothers tied ropes to each other and dropped each other on either side of the tree as ballast, so the tree would roll over. Now, there's so much wrong with that. There's just so much wrong with that it's mind-numbing. But I let them do it. And it was such a creative and cool thing to do that they had to make a check, but they were such a low CL and it was crazy. But and they got across the river. But I thought it's that type of stuff that makes people push the boundaries of what they can do and what they should be trying to do and what they're willing to do at the table. Because if you have mechanics that govern all that, it doesn't work. But there you go. Oh yeah, we're way over time. I always say we're in a lot of games. So I'm going to name. It's not on your sheet on you do it. It's in Siege game. It's not. That made no sense. I always say we're in a lot of games that shall go unnamed. If it's not on your sheet, you can't do it. In a Siege game, if it's not expressly forbidden, you're encouraged to give it a go. That's the philosophical limit. That's perfect, Jason. That's exactly right. And that's the whole purpose behind the C. I have to tell people all the time. They'll ask me, "Can I do X?" And my response is, "You can try anything you want. Anything you want." Steve working overtime. Love his notice. There you go.
So
we're in a tight spot.
So
yeah, we do got to wrap up.
So let's see. So tomorrow night, DM Samuel has the Pools of Narrate, which is a live CNC game with. It's about 3 hours long. Some of these guys in the chat are in it, and then they have like a 30-minute wrap up where they discuss all manner of things with the game and CNC. So it's really cool. You get to that first part, and then you get that. He'll be giving away something tomorrow. I can't remember what it is. I think a free PDF of choice or something. I'm not sure. They don't hold me up. Some giveaway. And then Daniel will be doing his painting Wednesday night. And now he's supposed to, if things work out, he's going to have the owner of Imperial Hobby Paints on for an interview. And they're going to be giving away some stuff, I think. Maybe even a paint set. I'm not sure. And then Thursday. Oh, that's Thursday. I'm sorry. What is today? Tuesday? Holy smokes. Sam's game's tomorrow night at 7 p.m., I believe. And then we got GMTT Thursday, right, at 4 p.m. Central. And then we got Daniel's at 8 p.m. Or 7 p.m. Central. So yeah, I'm in the midst of that.
Yeah, it's a lot. We got a lot of stuff and more coming.
More
So all
coming.
very
Lots
good. Well,
more.
we'll see you later, Clever. We're going to wrap up now. Thank you all, Tabletop, for the commentary. Everybody, it's March 359, 2020. There you go. Yeah. So we will see you. I will see you guys on Thursday at 4:00, and we got what is it? The Pools of Narhide tomorrow. Haunted Highlands. No, haunted something miniature painting.
Yeah, Haunted Holler. Just think redneck.
Haunted Holler.
I hate that. But
That's
what
too
he
many
likes.
H's. That's on Thursday, and then more and more and more and more. So we will see everybody later this week. Y'all have a great week, and stay safe out there.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you so much.
Take it easy, y'all. All right, Chuck, you're in charge. Am I still on? What's
You're
going
still
on?
on for right now. Bye, everybody.
Pole dancing.